Alright, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to Adventures in Cuphead. This is a pre-DLC playthrough of Cuphead. So we're gonna just jump into it. A few notes before we start. I am currently holding a baby, so if this ends abruptly, that is what is going on. So the background of this is, there's Cuphead and Mugman, and they live on some island. They go to a casino, they gamble, they win for a while, then the devil's like, yo, I'll take your souls, and they lose their souls to the devil, and they're like, dude, please don't do it, please don't take our souls. The devil's like, yo, fine, but you gotta go be my muscle. You gotta go collect souls for me. Otherwise, I'm coming for you. So, that is where we start today. You've gotten quite the pickle. You know you pawns the devil, but can you refuse? I can't bear to imagine your fates. You must play along, get the contracts. It might be nasty, but gotta do it. Okay, and so we get this potion, and now we have magical abilities, okay? Alright. And so that is the beginning here. I haven't actually played this all the way through, so we might end up with a little bit of trouble, and I might forget some stuff, but I think we'll be able to scrap our way through. Definitely not a speedrun, unless you want to call it a speedrun. We'll do part guide and just kind of whatever I'm feeling. So, first thing, you gotta talk to this guy. If you don't talk to this guy, you're losing out. He is gonna give me some coins, I believe. Yep. I'd intended to speedrun this game, and I just kept forgetting stuff. So, oh sweetie. Alright, so when you start out here, there's really, in my opinion, only one thing that you should be taking, and that is the smoke bomb. So, I'm going to start out by grabbing the smoke bomb, and then you could go... Oh, it wants me to equip it. So at home. You could just go down here and start doing boss fights, but I am not going to do that. I'm going to do the running gun. And, honestly, I think most of this game is going to come down to how well I do these running guns, because they tend to be the spot that I have the most trouble with. But they're an opportunity to get some more coins. Coins are good. So, one of the things about this game is it's really heavily about parries. When you're first starting playing this game, the biggest issue that people have is parry timing. And so, what I'll say is you can press it super early. Like, it doesn't have to be the exact moment that you are going to run into whatever object. I do need to get this, though. There we go. And these you can just fire up and kill. You can see we're obviously not doing, this is not a speedrun. Alright. Oop. And we're not going for S's. We're just going for completion here. There is also a pacifist trophy that you can get on these things for not killing any enemies. Yeah, so we did okay there. We took our time to get through, so our time is going to be slower. But we only got hit once. Oh, actually, we're in 2 minutes. That's pretty good. That's probably enough for an A. So, not bad. Most importantly, is we actually got our 5 coins. So I'm actually going to do a bunch of coin stuff just to start out, because there's a number of items you can get at the beginning. So the next thing you want to get is this roundabout. It doesn't seem that important, but at least in my opinion, it is the best thing to carry you through all these first levels. So we're going to equip that, and then we're going to bypass this boss, and we can actually go up around this thing and get in here. I think you can actually get this coin, but I think you actually have to get past the garden first. There's a coin there though. Alright, so the next one is the second run and gun. Each island has 2 run and guns. And so anything here that ends up with all of our coins is good for us. We do not care about ratings. That one's probably the hardest coin to get here. And then everything else is just avoiding enemies. So here we're just running straight on through. The roundabout that we got is these things. Basically, they go out like boomerangs, so if you're facing the wrong direction, they actually go farther. But the reason that I prefer them is that you can be facing the wrong direction and still hit your target. And then you just saw that I utilized the fact that I can blink through stuff. Probably should have talked about why I chose these, but yeah, the smoke bomb is great because you can just blink through enemies. So you really don't need to worry about if something is going to hit you. Oop. If you just dash at the right time. I'm assuming people know the controls of this, but I basically always hold down the fire button so you can fire. You can switch weapons? Oh my god, how do I switch weapons? L1 switches weapons. And then you can dash. I have the smoke bomb. So when you dash, you disappear for a moment. You actually can't be hit while you're disappeared. So that's super handy. We utilize that all the time. It also causes you to be stuck, be like stalled out in the air. Like your jump is a little bit longer when you're holding on to it. So, and then we just have a small mini boss here. Oop. Whew. That was close. So we're just backwards for a second. And then we jump across this. Alright. So X jump, square to fire your weapon, and triangle to dash. That really only leaves one more button on the side, which is circle. And circle uses our little power-ups. You'll see little cards pop up, and those allow each weapon to fire off their special. Alternatively, if you have the full 5 cards available, you can use your super if you have unequipped. I don't think they used to allow you to unequip it once you did equip it, but they do now. I don't know if you could do that in the initial release. But we're going to get our first super here, and they're situationally useful. So this one is basically we're just having to parry these ghosts. So parry is jumping, or it's hitting X once you're already in the air, and you can parry... how do I explain this? So, you can do 2 jumps, right? Oh no, you can do 1 jump. But then you can parry once. And if you have a successful parry, then you can keep parrying again. I don't know. Kind of hard to explain, but I think you get it. And this is Miss Chalice, I believe her name is. And she is the added character in the upcoming DLC, so that's kind of exciting. Legendary Chalice. Sorry if I completely forgot her title. But she gives us a super, and we'll see her a few times in this game, and like I said, some more in the upcoming DLC. But we got the super. They force you to equip it, which is probably good. Oh, actually, I can get out of that if I didn't want to, but we are going to put it on. There are reasons why you might not want to. Like I said, once you have 5 cards, you can't, you have to use the super. You can't just, fire off some large shots. So, that can be kind of annoying. There's not actually anything else in here that we need right now, but the one that we will want a bit later is this one, so I'll purchase it. And then that's probably all we're at. We'll buy the other ones, but they are less useful in my opinion. Alright, and time to start going into the bosses. We'll just look at the equipment we have. So, regular shot, roundabout, super, smoke bomb. You know, if you want, you can change this over to the lobber. I use the roundabout for most of the stuff. Alright, I'll try to talk to this guy. There's 3 phases to this. It's definitely the easiest boss in this game. You got this potato. He's shooting out tumbleweeds and then a snake, and you'll see they start coming closer and closer together. On this third one, you want to jump, instead of jumping in between all of them, you want to jump... Oop, here we go. You want to jump after the second one, and then just parry the snake. The onion... I actually find the onion pretty annoying, because I don't really think I can parry the, anything, but you kind of take them out pretty quickly. I switched over to the other weapon. And then we have this carrot. So the carrot is tossing other carrots into the sky here, and they're like homing missiles. The eye locks onto you at the last moment, so you kind of do just have to move right at the end there. But that's it. And so this is one of the ones that I think I do now. I think that's Botanic Panic, right? But pretty reliably an S. I guess it's A plus rating, whatever. If you're on the... Once you beat the game, you can get an S rating. There's like an expert mode or something. Sorry, a root pack. But our first boss is down, and we're going to keep on going. Oh man. So there are a number of coins hidden places. I honestly don't remember where they are, because I don't usually play from the beginning, but alright. So this one is, I would actually say, one of the hardest bosses. Ruby and Crow's Tip Joint Calamity. Maybe it's just really hard to get the A plus or the S rating on it, but I actually don't have the best stuff. I have a lot of trouble just ducking down out of the way of this, but This one is one of the ones that's particularly important to have this roundabout, because I just am super bad at avoiding that. It's important to have the roundabout because of the tall guy's attack. So here we got a fan going on the right hand side, and this other dude is just we're gonna try to use this, see if we can get away with it. You're not invulnerable when you use that, so it's actually not great. Here, just jumping over the coins, you parry this hand, and this is actually where it would have been better to have the other thing. So this is actually a random thing. There's 4 different seeds. I don't know. That was the easiest one. This is the hardest one, actually. But if you can get the timing, it's actually not that bad. I just have a lot of trouble with it sometimes. Alright, so we got the knockout. First try. That's pretty sweet. I think that one's just hard because the last phase is difficult. I made it look not so bad, but when someone can actually do it fine, it looks not so bad. And then you can see I didn't get any parries, so getting an A on this one, I think, is probably one of the harder ones to get an A on. But and you're seeing that some bridges come up in, I don't know, I'll say random order. Not random, but, you know, we went in a different order, so it doesn't actually help us. The first time I played this game, I actually just totally missed that this tree right here is a boss. So, just know the tree is a boss. This is Goopy Legrand in Ruse of an Ooze. Ruse of an Ooze. It's probably worth making a comment about the style of this game. So, obviously the game is kind of inspired by this, like... Oh, jeez. I should actually probably pay attention and not... Oh my god, I actually legit might die here. The game is inspired by this, like, 1920s, 1930s style. Oh god, I can't believe it. Okay. I actually can. This boss took me a long time. It's supposed to be very easy, but I've actually always had trouble with it. And the key here is you actually want to hug the boss. So you want to be super close when you can be, so that you can just dash under it when he's going to do that, and then oh jeez. Okay. Too close. Yeah, so this early 1900s art style of, like, animation, I guess they, like, animated most of it by, like, they did the cell animation by hand and then scanned it in, so that's why it takes a while, but, it's definitely inspired by not just the animation style, but those types of cartoons. So it's kind of neat. It's an interesting, I mean, it's 2D platformer, right? But, yeah, so phases there, the first 2 phases, you just want to stay close to the boss. You kind of get the timing, but just being ready to dash under him when he jumps up, and then, and stay out of the way when he's doing the punches. I'm pretty sure you can actually duck under the second punch, but I'm not 100% sure. And then at the end there, he's just in the background, doing a little slam, and so when he stops in front of you, or behind you rather, you just dash out of the way. So, relatively easy, but I actually still find the beginning to be somewhat difficult. Alright, and so they have another mode of combat in this game, and that is as an airplane. So, let's go do that. And the first airplane boss is Hildeberg in Threatening Zeppelin. I'll probably end up saying this a bunch, but this boss was also somewhat difficult the first time I did it, but not so bad later on. There is an achievement to beat this boss with only using small bullets. So I think it's if I dash, if I dash, I become a small plane, and you get tiny bullets, and that is like a 5 or 6 minute achievement. Oh shit! All right. So we're just gonna do that. We get to become a bomb. Most of this boss fight is actually just in avoiding these haws, as they call them. They say ha, but it's like 80% like really boring timing, actually. So the majority of shit. I might fail at this boss too. Yeah. Okay. That did not go well. So that phase boss is actually somewhat random, or it's random, which means you don't always get Zeus, but so it's always the Taurus here. And so, if I were doing this as like not trying to commentate it, basically it's be sitting here just counting, because every approximately 5 seconds she's gonna spit out a ha like that. She does a little bit of animation just before she does it, but so with these, you're just going in this circle, and then you can put down some firepower on the blue stars. Ugh. Alright, and so we're on to phase 4, maybe? I'm not sure. There should be one more, boss here. Or one more, I don't... That pushes her into last phase. Just kidding. Alright, so this can actually be a little bit tricky, but, mostly because there's just a lot on screen here. You're not really sure what to avoid. Oh, I might die here. So you're really just trying to pay attention to the UFOs. They'll shoot one thing downward. They'll do one like downward beam, I guess. And so you're really just trying to pay attention to each one. If they do it early on, then you can wait and you're totally safe. They're not going to do it again. If they don't do it, then you do need to push forward. You don't get hit kind of at the end of the screen, but it's that, and then there's stars coming forward. I think she also does like a forward thrust, but it's really not dangerous, so don't need to be worried about that part. Alright, so we died to Hildeberg once. Not so bad. I think we just have Botanic Panic left, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh no, sorry, Botanic Panic is the first one. Cagney Carnation in Floral Fury. Cool. So this one I am going to switch back to the pea shooter. But you can see that I've actually been using the other thing basically the whole time. this thing. So if you're going to do this, you just want to mostly be facing away the whole time, or as much as possible. And then here, there's a few things to note in the first phase. Actually, the seed thing is like one of the more annoying bits, but we'll be fine. And then she does a top and bottom kind of charging thing. Whoop. And then that's kind of a, oop. That was, forgot to hold the button. Oof, this is not doing great. Oof, that was not great. Okay. Yeah, so just a few things here. You saw the kind of area attack, I guess. And then this like seedlings thing. And then these what's it called? Area attacks. Whoop. Alright. So those blue things always go over the top. And then these, the acorns or whatever they are, the way I handle those is always just staying on top. We are in phase 2 now. The main things to pay attention to here are the vines on the bottom. But she also does these like saw things that you see there. And sometimes you have to jump over them, sometimes you have to go to a different platform. It's just kind of whatever, but once you figure out the second phase, it's actually pretty easy. Yep, so that is that boss. One of the other things that's kind of fun that I think I missed in a lot of the playthroughs is checking out the different animation, like the different phase animations. So at the end there, she kind of has an animation where she dies, and yeah, so we can get this coin now. Like eyes go away, kind of in like a head cocked back position. I just think it's kind of interesting to see these kind of details that I really feel like I miss. So, King Dice. I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice. Oh, hot dog, your strength is growing. Do you really think we can get out of our contract? Maybe, but probably not. Yeah. When the time comes, do the right thing. Alright. So, we are in Inkwell Island 2. Okay. So, I'm gonna do these, I think, in this order. Which is... we're gonna go over here to Baroness von Bonbon. Yeah, I'll say all of these were like pretty tricky the first time I did them, but that's because I didn't really know what was good at all. So, since everyone's watching this, you'll know all the good stuff. So this one has a random, I think there's 5 different enemies you can get at the beginning here, and you get 3 of them, I want to say. So, after you beat the first one, there are these dudes that start coming out at the bottom, that are parry opportunities. We're not going to do any of that. That guy, you're really just paying attention to the marbles. So this one, you're just trying to not get hit by the I mean, she's got the shotgun now, so don't get hit by the shotgun. Don't get hit by those guys on the bottom. Oof. Alright, well, we did get hit by them, but we can now unload on her, and then this just becomes an avoid and parry thing. So she's got a head that she threw out. And you just keep holding down that fire button as much as you can. And we got it. We didn't actually use the lobber, but yeah, there's two things here. There's the what's it called? There's the head that's moving around, and then there's also that like rolling candy cane type thing at the bottom. You can also parry that. That's a parry opportunity. I might have got on it once, but relatively straightforward encounter there. So we're gonna go and we're gonna talk to this dude. He's gonna give us an airplane upgrade. So now we have bombs, which are pretty critical to one of the fights coming up. And I'm actually just gonna go do that fight. This is one of my least favorite ones. I guess it's not too bad, but I will probably die a few times here because I just have trouble with this boss. Yeah, so the first phase is pretty easy. They're just gonna do those eggs. They hit the back and then split out into three. And when you're not paying attention, oh my gosh, yeah, you just get wrecked in the first phase. Okay. So, this isn't too bad. You just need to find that sweet spot, where you're kind of still you're still hitting the boss, but, oof. But, yeah, avoiding all of the, feathers, obviously. Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, so I definitely would need more health to get to that point. It's very difficult for me to get through that without, getting hit, so. It's alright. So, we did get a different, weapon, but I don't really use the other weapon until later, but I guess we can deploy it here if we want to. Oh my gosh, well, but yeah, it's a little kind of lobber thing like that. So it's good depending on when you're, like, what angle you're at for the boss. So for some reason you need to be up more, like above the boss. That's what you can use. Oh my gosh, I did it again. So this phase is just like somewhat deadly, but it also just like takes kind of a while because you can't, this is why the lobber is like so key, dude. Alright. Well, we'll see if we can get through this. This is gonna be kind of borderline. Mostly because I don't remember the Oh, I did get a parry, but... Alright. Getting close.
Now go.
And so this is kind of where, just every... It's difficult to actually end up learning these fights, because, this sounds funny. The way that you learn is by realizing that you're doing suboptimal things and adjusting for it. And you end up actually not really paying much of a price in these first phases for taking unnecessary damage. And so it can be difficult to learn to not take damage. Like, obviously you don't want to take the damage, but, I don't know. Alright, so, let's do that. So, the parries are good, not just for the purposes of avoiding damage, they also help fill up your meter. Oop. So, let's see if we can... And the reason that I'm kind of toggling in and out of that mode is that, again, when I switch modes, that's my dash. And so when I do that, I'm actually impervious to damage for a brief moment. Got him. Alright. So you can see each attempt that I just did a little bit better, and at the end I ended up with 2 health. So, pretty good. In that one, again, it's relatively easy to get parries. So, A-. Alright. Whew. My heart is racing a little bit. Alright, so there are lots of ways to go through this. Honestly, except for the first map, it doesn't really matter, because we're not trying to get any different items. Like, that's one interesting thing about this game, is like, after you have the right, or the helpful equipment, which there's definitely different ways to play each boss, but I'm telling you guys what I think is easiest. Once you have the right items, though, it's really just about learning the phases, and really, really about just not getting hit, honestly. Alright, and I think we should have a few more here. There should be one more that's swirling, yeah. Alright, that is it. And so we will get Miss Legendary's special. The second special is imperviousness, I guess. Alright. So, what order to do these things in? I guess there's a running gun right here, so we'll do this. This one's not so bad. It's a bit of a pain when you're trying to do the pacifist mode. Oop. Because, so in... Oh, shit. Okay. You know what? I'm not actually supposed to be shooting. So when you're doing pacifist, there's usually just a few bits that are a bit of a pain to get through. Oop. Okay. Oh, we died there.
Now go.
I'm actually gonna pop. Let me see. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go out to map because I don't want to have the lobber on right now. Yeah, so when you're doing pacifist, it's really about knowing which parts of the map are difficult to get through, and then using your specials to get past those. I believe that parrying these balloons doesn't count against you in pacifist, but like you can't use your gun. I'm pretty sure is what it is. Alright. Well, this is another one where I'm just like really not doing super great. Hey, sweetie. Okay. So we'll see if we can get through this. It's not too bad, but sometimes you just miss a jump, you know? So a lot of this is just paying attention to the condiment that's coming up next. And not screwing up the jumps. So it's that one where you have to actually do a jump. Oop. Alright. And we make it. Whew. So yeah, that bit is a little bit tricky in pacifist because you can't kill any of the hot dogs either. So you're doing the jumping over the condiments, and then you're also trying to avoid the things that are jumping up and down, and you have to take one hit at the end to get past the hot dog. But my recollection with that one is that you end up taking the impervious special that we just got. Like, you take this invincibility super, so. Okay. Ha. Yeah. Alright, well, I don't know if we're actually gonna be able to get through this whole run, but we will try. So, all of that stuff is done. We're gonna head down here now. So... Okay, forgive me, is this Jimmy? Jimmy the Great? I literally don't know how to say this, but Pyramid Peril. So this is another one of the airplane modes, which means the stuff that we've equipped. The dash counts. Yeah, the dash matters, but I think all the other things don't matter. So here we're just trying to pick up as many parries as we can get, if possible, but that first bit is not a problem at all. This bit is difficult only because it's very easy to fly into one of these walls. So I'm going to try to not do that. I'm probably the only person who has trouble with that, but I do. For this bit, I just sit up here, and so there's lots of ways to do this, but the way that I do it is I sit up here and just go to town. So these planets can hit you, but they do a little bit of alternate things. You can also just dash through them. So when I say alternate things, sometimes they go higher than other times. So These are the phases that end up getting a little bit hard to get through. So we're going to use our super here, and then we're going to see if we can try to refill our super before... Shoot. Before this last phase. Oh, okay. Well, let's see if we can do better this time then. It actually wasn't going bad until that last bit, so... It wasn't going bad until it was. Alright. So, yeah, this phase. This is the phase that is actually the most important to get through. So, you can see I switched to the bombs. I do better with them, but... Oop. Hey, welcome. Alright. So, we are through that phase. Still took one hit, but no worries there. And so, like I said, we're doing the same strat at the top here. We're just going to hang out. The reason we do this is it takes out the ghosts. You really don't have to worry too much about the planet things, and hits the boss, so kind of a good little cheese, I guess. And so here we go. Alright, we're going to get our super off as early as possible. And then we get the parry. We're going to need a second parry here in a sec. Oh, we did not get it. Shit. This might be not great. Whew. No! Oh my god, we died in exactly the same spot. Okay. Yeah, so the boss always does that. Oh shit. The boss always does that one. Alright, I'm just gonna start that over. Does this one, like, kind of ghost dash when he's casting out the end of this first thing. It's interesting that we're always getting, we've only gotten this phase, but there definitely are other ones. So I'm not really sure why it keeps being the swords. There's another one that I personally think is harder. It's like, I don't know, cats? Yeah, and then here we just switch to the bombs. I literally can't fly through those things. We switch to the bombs just because it only takes one hit to blow up the walls, so that is kind of nice. And I think we can actually hit him. Yeah, he's available to be hit there. So there's two ways to get the super. You can either just build it up. Oh, what the shit? I don't think I realized that that does damage, actually. Like, he's... Okay. Alright, so let's see how we do here. So, we're gonna try a small trick where I'm gonna try to... Oh god. Oh jeez. Whew, that was close. So I did utilize the fact that you get some iframes after using the bomb. there, but I actually avoided all the other crap, so that was probably honestly the best I've done at dodging. But I tend to try to do just a burn him down as fast as possible in that last phase, because it's quite deadly. So there's a few things. He's got the the pyramids going around the circle. You can see at one point they do open up and they make a cross, so one of them just tries to totally take you out, and then he also shoots out like a little white probe from his eye, and that is also quite deadly. I mean, I guess everything's quite deadly since it's one hit and you're dead. Okay, so this boss is interesting. It's often listed as one of the harder bosses in this game. I would say that a lot of the difficulty of this boss is in this first phase, and that sounds really stupid when you see what it is, because it's really not hard. But it's like super important to not get hit by these things. So there's ducks up top, and then he dashes, and the ducks drop, what's it called? Like, acorns? I don't know. There's just a lot going on in this boss fight that makes it difficult, but if I'm able to, I mean, as with everything, if someone's able to do it, then it like looks super easy. And this is why this weapon is just so crazy good, because I don't need to be facing the boss to do like pretty good damage. Here I'm just sitting underneath him, firing up, but I can do kind of stuff like this, and oh crap. And it's just really fine, actually. Oof, that was dangerous, actually. We're just gonna fire this off, see if we can... Oh, forgot that I can still be hit. Okay, so maybe it's actually phase 3 that's difficult. I don't know. But this is why the roundabout, I would say, is just the best weapon in this game. Because you don't need to be facing the boss, you just can fire stuff all willy-nilly. And it's still pretty effective. And you definitely see me using that in this part. The reason I do is each of these tubes can have little mobs come out. And so... being able to hit the boss and the mobs is important. You can see that I let off one. Oop. Oh crap, dude! I just keep getting hit by the frickin' this dude. So technically, you can actually parry these things, but this is going to be dangerous. Yeah. So the reason that ends up dangerous is that there are what's it called? Horseshoes flying around overhead that you have to avoid, and then there's also the coaster. You can see the coaster in the background here, which I think is kind of a nice touch. So it's not just totally random that it's coming out here. It's timed, but you can also see it in the background. So I went through this whole thing about how I'm so good, and this boss is just not even that hard, and then like I'm biting it to these middle phases. And so while I'm just eating crap, one thing that can be kind of fun in this game is to appreciate the music. This is another reason why. Oop, I probably could have dashed through that actually. Crap. Okay, so this is one problem with the smoke bomb, and something that we'll probably run into later with the when we get to the devil. There's just some parrying things, or some times where you want to dash, where it is harder because you can't quite see where you're going. That was luck. Alright. So we're actually just gonna... Oh my gosh, what the crap, dude? And so in that phase, it's actually not just totally random where I'm firing. It kind of looks like it is, but it is not. Fuck. So when you're jumping, you actually need to be pushing directional... you need to have directional inputs. Oh, this is dead. I just keep doing the same thing. Alright, I'm gonna... I actually haven't been using the weapon at all, but I'm actually going to just switch off this, just to have it. So I switched away from the lobber to this weapon. Like I said, I'm not actually even using it that much, but I do just kind of like having it available. I switched a little bit, actually. It's not fair to say that I don't use it. I do use it a little bit. So there, when you're doing the dashes, you do need to be careful that you're not dashing into the ducks up top. But by and large, it's not really a problem. And like I said, here, when you're jumping in the air, you do want to be pushing different directions so that you're spraying the these out in different directions. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna... So you can stand here, as long as... Oh my gosh. You can stand under it as long as you're not going to get hit by the cart below, but I guess in this playthrough, after I said, hey, this boss is not really that bad, it's decided to give me some trouble, so... Oop. There we go. I'm just going to retry that. Can't be losing 2 health in the first phase. It's bad luck. Oh my gosh. And then I just am preemptively doing stuff. Well, this... Oh my gosh. I mean, I've been losing health to the later phases, but that's just because I haven't been losing it to the earlier phases, so... Let's just keep going and see if we can't make something happen here. Alright. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that bit is actually very dangerous. I don't know if I can... You might be able to do a low jump over. But it doesn't seem like something I've had much success with. So, I think we'll get it pretty soon here, actually. It doesn't look like I'm getting closer, but I am. Getting the feels a little bit. Alright, so this is more what we're looking for. So this boomerang attack is interesting in that, because if it doesn't hit you when it comes back, you can actually get a few more hits on it. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was the most lucky. Alright, so we finally got through that. Oh my gosh. And let's see if we can just down this frickin' boss. So this final phase is actually, like, legit difficult. I actually don't have the items that I need to burn this down. So let's see if we can hopefully do it. Okay. That actually might be it. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, the biggest thing is those guys actually just can throw a bunch of balls at you. And so using the special there to both hit the boss and all the other guys is, like, pretty helpful. So highly recommended. Barely got through that one. And still A-. So, alright. And just for funsies, we'll head on over here. This is a little pool that tells you how many times you have died during this. I think it's just this one. So, perished 14 times. That's more than 0, right? I'm gonna talk to these guys. Our 4th member will never summon the same again. If you spot him, tell us. I believe he is up here? No, he must be in the next thing. So we could come over to this fight earlier. You kind of go around back here from this bird thing. You know what? There's gotta be a coin here. Here he is. Ha! We did it. We did it, everyone. Oh yeah, they just said, hey, we're looking for coins. I think it's like over here or something. I don't know. They're just like behind stuff. Is it up here behind this thing? No. Alright, well, I don't quite remember, but... Okay. They're all here.
It's nice to rest your eyes and maybe go outside.
Oh, I see.
Grab a book and get some air. So what are you waiting for? Why not take a quick break? Tune the radio.
I see.
There's chores to do, there's leaves to rake. Strum the old banjo.
Yeah.
Practice your Lindy Hop. And maybe later sing with your barbershop. Why not take a little quick break then come back for more. Or then come back for more. Or please come back for more.
I actually can't walk away right now, by the way. That's funny. It's not the worst idea, actually. You know? Oh, there's the coin. But we do have a few things left in this island, so we're gonna keep going.
Here goes.
This one. So, this is a hard pacifist one until you realize that you can duck under, underneath the, oops. Because you can also just take out, like, I think you can kill the duck or something. I don't remember. This is actually, yeah, this is actually kind of a hard, kind of a hard run though. So this might take a little bit. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Here goes.
Yeah. This is gonna be a pain. Can I do this? Oh, there we go. See if we can just get through it. Nice. We did. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Okay. It's been a while, so this is gonna just take a second. Alright, so we do want to be on this lower section. I'm just gonna take our sweet time through here. I don't think you can kill these stars. Pretty sure you just have to, like, do that. Okay. I don't entirely remember how to do this, honestly. Oh god. Okay. I mean, that went... It seemed like it went better, but could have just been a fluke. Alright. Made it through that area pretty well. Oh. Alright, and... Didn't quite make it, but that's okay. Alright, so... Alright. Yeah, we made it. Oh my gosh, okay. We'll just clip a bunch of that out. That was... Ew. That did not go well, but... in point of fact, just having the normal dodge and the extra health was very, very helpful. So... there we go. And we're actually going to go back and we're going to get the 2 health. And I think we're going to rock the 2 health for the rest of the way. I don't think I explicitly stated this before, but the reason that you're able to get, the reason that you're able to get the coins or whatever is like them actually picking them up in the running guns. So if you're not playing the running guns, you're not going to be getting the upgrades.
A great plan and then
Oh, okay. Well, if I don't down this go, I'll come back to the different loadout because there's a much better. So the lobber is excellent for this map. Like way better than any other weapon. Yeah, so this is actually a pretty cool map that I think just a lot gets lost because it feels really hectic when you're playing it, but in the background here, there's actually like a model of a tower or whatever, and you can see it's actually spinning around. This is a cool mix that when they produced it of hand rendered, but then my understanding is that they actually like constructed this tower that's in the background. Oop. And alright. Yeah, this is the worst way to be doing this, but I really don't have a better way, so. Alright. So this part in particular, you're supposed to be learning that just indiscriminately firing, oops, I didn't want to make that. You're supposed to learn that indiscriminate firing is bad, and the reason that it's bad is that when you hit the projectiles that the boss is firing, that they split out into more projectiles. So here the lobber is just so good because it's doing more damage, but it actually bounces off of these clouds. So you can be up high while your attacks are traveling a pretty good distance and hitting the boss. And then here it's excellent because again, this weapon does more damage than your standard, and you can turn around. Oop. Yeah, so just turn around and land down some pretty good fire, I think. So the fires that jump up here are kind of different in length. So it is a good idea to take your time a little bit here. Oh. Just because if you can't be hitting the boss with your shots, then you probably So I'm just gonna pop this, and I'm gonna try to down the boss here. See if we can get him down. And we did. Whew, about to die, but very close. So there's 3 heads there. One of them just does that, the flamethrower attack, and the other 2 will shoot out, they'll do 2 fireballs each, and then do the flame attack. I think they actually did 2 and then 3, but it is somewhat scripted, so. Alright. So, making pretty good progress here. He's like, oh, you're doing it. Oop. Alright, let's just checking how long we are on stream, since that is not on screen for me. Yeah, so they're making mincemeat out of the deaders. You see? Something special. Yep. Don't worry about it, devil. Alright, so... oh man, these bosses get pretty hard. Rumor Honeybottoms in Honeycomb Herald. Well, we'll see if we can get through these. If not, we might need to clip this into an additional, we might need to do another video, but we'll see. I'd really like to get this done today, since I think I think it comes out tomorrow, actually, the DLC. So, we're just taking our sweet time here. There definitely are better weapons than what I have equipped here, but oh man, this is actually taking me quite a while. Usually you get them in like 2 or 3 back and forths, but alright, and so the bee comes out. She's got a few different phases. Honestly, this one is probably the hardest one. Yep, almost dead. But it'll take a little bit for me to remember how to... So this level is very important to make use of R1. Lets you actually turn. Oops. Oops. Sorry. Oh wow, I was actually doing okay there. Interesting. Yeah, there is a better weapon to have here, but I'm just gonna see if I can make use of this one. And something that I don't actually do that often, but you can, is if you press down and jump, you'll drop through the floor. I think it's pretty common for a lot of platformers. But I definitely do not use it that often. Okay. Alright. So I'm mostly trying to just avoid these things. This one's probably going to be the triangles, which I really don't like. Basically just trying to bait them to go to the corners. I don't know if there's a better strategy, but... Alright, and we're on to the last phase here. So this shouldn't be too bad. This is actually one of the first times that I actually like used replay to figure out like what the heck is going on. So I couldn't pick up on that tell. Oop. I still got hit by it, but... And let's just see if we can... Oh, I died. That was probably pretty close, actually. Okay.
Now go.
That was so close, and then just, it's all just like dumb little hits, right? And this is a great example of just talking about how like you just take a dumb hit early on, and then you don't really learn from it if you're not like the part where you're paying the price or whatever is so much later that oop, like that. I just fell through the freaking crack a little bit. Oh my gosh. Yep. Alright, I think that gets me into the next phase. But, like, I don't have my super or anything to draw on, so we'll see. So if she wants to just keep doing that, I'm happy with that. Oh, jeez. Just gonna pop this and see if I can... Yes, yes, yes. Whew. Oh my, what a difficult one. Alright. Got through it. Yeah, I almost certainly am not gonna to get to the end of this. There's just a few too many bosses left to go. But let's knock out one that I think is pretty easy. If I recall correctly, which maybe I don't. The lobber is garbage for this, and we don't need invincibility.
This match will get red hot. And begin!
So, yeah, it's a sea captain or something. Oh. Forgot kind of how fast he... So, good to get parries here. If you have the seeking gun, there's one that's like heat seeking or whatever. I don't know if you call it heat seeking, because I don't know, it's cartoons. But it's not a bad weapon to do here. I tend to think that this is actually the best weapon. Oof. It's not really going to be a problem because I can still see, but if you have the close range weapon, this is a good spot to utilize it. Maybe this is actually... Maybe I'm supposed to be doing this? I think so. Oop, I've been doing this wrong the whole time, actually. Now I'm quite embarrassed, since the whole thing is you fire the opposite way with this. So, okay, let's try that again. That took way too long.
A brawl is surely brewing. And begin!
So the more parries that you can get on this dude, the better. It just, because it can take a bit. I think when I've been pretty good at this dude, I just go to town like this. With that octopus, you do want to just be downing that dude as fast as you can, and it tends to make sense to utilize a special if you need to. And you'll notice that I'm actually not building up to the max here. That's intentional. Oops. And then you do want to kind of find the timing of the cannonballs of the boats spitting out, because there are times where you just can't quite see them. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this. What happened to that cannonball, actually? Alright. So, I'll just say a funny thing for this. When I first played this... Oop. Oh, jeez, I just got wrecked twice, actually. Alright, let's see if we can do it. One funny thing about that end is that, there's an attack that I just couldn't figure out how to avoid, and I'm 80% sure that you just duck under it, but and you can see that I'm trying to tactically run under the crane, just because he always comes back and forth, and after a short amount of time he can drop, so and so I'm just going to blow this now, since I need to reset it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is... Okay. Alright, so he's gonna get upset. That's fine. Oop. So this is the part... Oh god. And we got the knockout, despite being utter trash at the last phase. But it's another one down. That is where the smoke bomb is good, because you can just dash through those instead of trying to avoid them. But we took our sweet, sweet time. And we did alright. Coming out, this would be B+. Ooh. Alright, I think that is probably going to be a good stopping spot, since we're not going to get through this whole thing. Let's see what is left. Okay, so we have this. Yeah, this is probably a good spot to stop. So we got 2 running guns, and I believe number bosses here. So we'll come back next time, and we'll do some 2 chunks. Try to see if we can do it maybe tomorrow morning. So catch everyone then. See ya.